Hello! In the last video we make our character move. But before we can move further into controlling the character, we have to tackle one issue. Let's move character to the right. As you may remember, all we have to do is to increase player X coordinate every frame. If we allow the character to move long enough, we can see the character is going outside the screen. So, let's fix it. Before we start, I remind you that you can download source code for the video from the releases section of GitHub repository. Link in the description. First of all, let's define two new variables, screen width and screen height. This will represent screen dimensions in pixels. Now we have to somehow forbid movement if character X coordinate is greater than screen width. This can be achieved with the conditions. Conditions are the way we can control how program executes statements. In other words, we can control program execution flow. As usual, the answer is in the problem itself. Let's repeat it. If character X coordinate is greater than the screen width, then stop moving. So let's code it. And let's test it by run the program. So as our character leaves the screen, we have a message that we're going off screen. So now we are aware that player is going outside the screen. Congratulations, you just implemented your first conditional statement. But let's break it down. To make a condition, you should use if statement and specify the condition, finishing with the colon. The column indicates that we have finished condition itself, and following are the statements which should be executed if condition happens to be true. Indentation is important here because this is how Python separates block of statements that should be executed under the if condition. But wait a second, what is actually true? It's perfect time to introduce you to the boolean data type. Boolean is a fundamental data type that can have only two values, true or false. Boolean are responsible for answering the logical question like we have with the character position. So, is character is off screen at the start? No, it's false. Can character move the off screen? Yes, it's true. Okay, now we understand that comparing values will evaluate to the Boolean value. But how exactly do we compare values? For now, let's stick with the number comparison operators. There are 6 of them. Values can be equal, not equal, less than, greater than, or combination like greater than or equal, less than or equal. Let's code it quickly. Now we can get back to our task and make character move only within the screen. For a character considered to be on the screen, his x-coordinate has to be greater or equal 0, left side of the screen, and less than or equal to the screen width, the right side of the screen. Let's check the left side of the screen. Let's move the character closer to the left border and check if it works. Cool. As you can tell, the character no longer leaves the screen. Okay, let's move forward and restrict character movement near the right border. And it didn't work. But why? As you may remember, the character coordinate is the top left corner of the sprite. So to fix the issue, we have to take into account the character sprite width. So let's define a new variable and fix the issue. As you can see, you can even use expression in the condition. So let's test it. Now finally it works. Let's do the same for the y coordinate. Now our character is exactly in the place where it should be. Let's review our implementation. As we said earlier, the player coordinate should be greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal corresponding screen dimension. We do this check separately, but we can merge two checks into a single condition using logic and operator. The resulting condition will be true if both conditions are true. So let's do it. We will introduce new variables, player speed x and player speed y, to control the player speed and direction. This variable shouldn't be global since the player speed will be set at every frame. And now let's merge our if conditions into single condition. All we have to do is merge them by AND operator. Also, instead of using the hard-coded values, we will use the corresponding speed variable. Let's test it once again. Nice, it's working. Now we are officially done with the boundary checks, but not done with the condition yet. It may be helpful to know when the character is unable to follow the direction because it will go off boundaries. For now, we will print the message if the character can't move in his path to freedom. It is very easy to achieve using the else statement. So the logic is simple. If this condition is true, we execute this statement. In other case, we execute this statement. And we don't need this one. This boundary check is not a bulletproof solution, but they are good enough for the purpose of this video. We'll implement more sophisticated solution later during this course. Now, as we are sure the character is not going to flee from us, we can give the steering wheel to the player itself. The code is simple as we speak about this. If A key is pressed, move the character to the left. If D key is pressed, move character to the right. And the same for the vertical direction. The let's press function return true when you press the A key. The same for D, S and W. Great. Or is it? You may ask, what will the character do if I press A and D keys at the same time? It will go to the right, because it is the second condition in our code. It is kinda okay in our current implementation, but may have a problem in future since the first condition will be executed too, leaving us with unwanted side effects. We can show it simply. As you can see, we are moving to the right, but we are detecting that a key is still pressed. How do we fix it? By far, we know that we can use if statement with else statement. But third option will be if the left key is pressed, move to the left, else if right key pressed, move to the right, and so on. Let's code it. To use this logic, you will use a if statement. As you can see, now we only can go to the one of the 4 directions. But what if we want to move to the diagonals? We'll allow horizontal and vertical inputs to be mixed. So, our logic is simple as that. If left key pressed, go to the left, else if right pressed, go to the right, if up pressed, go to the up, if down pressed, go down. And as you can see, we can move in all 8 directions. Nice! Now the player has a full control of the character movement. And now you know how to make logical branches in your code. In the next video, we will add several NPCs to interact with. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. We just slightly open the door to the future adventure. Ciao!